vehicles by the G20. The G20 accounts for about 85% of all passenger car manufacturing in the world. So they are really the hub of the automotive industry. And of course, China at the top is the largest market, but you'll see if you follow the colours along the little images, the European Union is the one that has the full set of all the most advanced vehicle regulations. Perhaps that's not surprising, including most recently intelligent speed assistance. But what you will see is how India has shot up. And in fact, I would say without any hesitation that in the last decade, the most improved country in vehicle standards in the G20 has undoubtedly been India. And I really would like to pay tribute to Mr. Gadkari for his determination and patience and indefatigability in pushing ahead with this agenda, and the response that we are seeing from industry and all the key stakeholders. It does mean that India has really moved up a league in the G20 and completely meets the aspirations that have been spoken of already this morning. And I would say it's an opportunity. You have your summit later this year, and I hope that the leadership that India has already shown can be transferred to the rest of the G20. Because if you look at some of the performers in that list are not doing that well, and we need to encourage them. Because in the end, we want to save lives, of course here in India, but across the world. So really, I would just like to finish by thanking everyone involved. I really, again, have to say enormous thanks to our team, without whom this project would not have been possible. Also, our key donors, the FI Foundation, Bloomberg Philanthropies, which have given us the resources to enable the work over the last 10 years. We really look forward with enormous pleasure and satisfaction to welcome Bharat NCAP to the family of NCAPs. And that's why, for me personally, it's just a wonderful thing to be here this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ward, for sharing that perspective. Global NPAC is one of the foremost initiatives of Towards Zero Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have gathered here for the launch of Bharat NCAP, that is Bharat New Car Assessment Program. The New Car Assessment Program is an assessment of vehicles on safety parameters and to rate them on a scale of 0 to 5 stars. Let's now watch this introductory video on Bharat NCAP. May I request the audiovisual team to kindly play the video.
As per the report on road accidents in India 2021, around 1.5 lakh lives are lost to road accidents every year. Thoroughly distressing as the scenario could be, the government of India, led by the reformist Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and the Honorable Minister for Road Transport and Highways Shri Nitin Gadkari, is determined to get this number reduced. Working in this direction, a number of safety-related endeavors are paced up and a number of new projects have been initiated. The Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways is extremely sensitive and fully aware that road safety improvement targets can be achieved by offering safe road infrastructure and safer vehicles. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, MORE, is keen to provide the highest safety standards for vehicles and has in the process introduced a slew of mandatory measures for enhancing safety features in vehicles over the last few years. Among others, these include airbags, crash tests, and seat belt reminders. Also, every new car model in India must undergo and clear the mandatory tests as per the Central Motor Vehicle Rules 1989. This is a prerequisite for permitting the vehicle to ply on the Indian roads. The car owners in India are also according priority to safer vehicles with better safety features while making their choice for buying a new car. The Government of India realizes the need to encourage OEMs to keep enhancing the safety of the cars as well as the need of the potential car owners to be able to ascertain the safety rating of a car before making a purchase decision. Taking this into account, the Government of India has introduced the Bharat New Car Assessment Program, NCAP. Under this program, the cars sold in the Indian market will be tested against an automotive safety standard to assess the performance of the car in the areas of structural integrity, adult occupant safety, child occupant safety, and safety assist technologies, and accordingly assign safety star ratings to the car based on the performance of the car in these tests. This safety star rating would assist the prospective car buyers by providing them the information and rating on the safety of the car, which will help in their decision making for procurement of a car. These new star ratings will also incentivize the car manufacturers to upgrade the safety features and enhance the structural strength of their vehicles. Hence, this program is expected to provide the ecosystem for all the stakeholders to raise the safety levels of cars beyond regulatory norms. These much needed new developments would promote a healthy culture amongst car manufacturers who would soon compete towards designing and manufacturing more robust and safer cars to stay relevant in the market scenario. The country is surely evolving into a safety-sensitive vehicle market in the near future. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has now approved the notification for the implementation of the Bharat NCAP along with the testing standards of AIS 197. Bharat NCAP with its safety ratings would be fully functional from the 1st of October 2023. The Indian automobile industry is the growth engine of the Indian economy. Implementation of Bharat NCAP would not only increase the quality and safety of Indian cars, but would also greatly improve the export potential of the Indian cars in global markets. This would be an extremely important step towards realizing the mission and vision of Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari, that is making the Indian automobile industry the #1 automobile manufacturing hub in the world. As the world looks up to India for its meteoric rise in the global economic scenario, the safety of every Indian is becoming a top priority of Indian leadership led by Honorable PM Shri Narendra Modi and supported by the Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways Shri Nitin Gadkari. It is only a matter of time before India attains its much coveted target of reducing fatalities caused by road accidents as it continues to sprint towards becoming a world leader in the comity of nations.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure of having in our midst Shri K.C. Sharma, Superintending Engineer, MVL, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. May I now request him to kindly share his presentation on Bharat New Car Assessment Program.
Honorable Minister, Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Honorable Minister of State for Road Transport and Highways, Secretary Sir, dignitaries on the dais and distinguished guests. Before I begin to say something on this, give you a brief snapshot on this Bharat NCAP program. At the outset, I would like to tell you that this journey began sometime in 2011, but at a slow pace when we wanted to create a concept like this. But this gained momentum in 2016 when we decided that we should create a standard, and this is in the larger interest for both, all the stakeholders, the industry, the consumers, and everybody. Now, I would also mention that some of the people here in the audience, to name a few, like Mr. Manikar, Mr. Anil Kumar, and Mr. Saukar, were instrumental in preparing the first zero draft for this document. Now, to give you an overall let me give you a brief summary of this whole program. This program is applicable to type approved vehicles. When we say type approved, I mean that all the vehicles which are otherwise fit to ply on the roads, it is the basic condition for applicability of the program is the vehicle must be type approved. Again, the second point is that it should be of M1 category, which means less than 8 plus driver, not exceeding 8 passengers and a driver, and it should be less than 3.5 tons in terms of gross vehicle weight. The second important point is that this is a voluntary program in which the base variants of any given model will be tested. The date of applicability of this program is 1st October 23, and it is based on Automotive Industry Standard AIS 197. The concept of this entire program is to create an ecosystem for enhancement of safety, and which will ultimately lead to increasing consumer awareness. Now, once the vehicles with different star ratings are available with it, based on his financial might, he can make a comparative analysis as to which vehicle is more suited for his requirement. It also means a lot to the OEMs who will be manufacturing vehicles of global safety standards, which would be both useful in the Indian market as well as in the global market. So far I will be telling you something about the details of the program, but this program will be anchored by Central Institute of Road Transport, and this program has been devised after stakeholder consultation with all the stakeholders, be it the OEM, testing agencies, component manufacturers, everybody for that matter. Now, there is a need for regulatory standards to evolve with time, as you all know. The vehicle speeds are increasing. Beyond vehicle type approval, there is a need which is felt for improving the standards of inspection and maintenance. Ministry is also coming up with end of life and scrapping of older vehicles, so we must have world-class standards so that all new generation vehicles are of better standards, or rather world-class standards. The safety assist technologies, be it electronic stability control, automatic emergency braking system, airbags, are being introduced, and it will have a positive impact. It has been observed that it has a positive impact in terms of accidents. Now, the last point is that we must encourage innovation, and this can only happen if the standards are raised. Now, the standard, there is a important point here. Earlier, it was the entire process was regulatory in the sense that everything was mandated by the government. Now, here by making it voluntary, it is the OEMs will take a step forward in creating better standards, and which will be of great use to the consumer. What are the steps we have taken so far? Everybody in the house is well aware, whether it is ABS, whether it is CBS, airbags for the driver, co-driver, seatbelt reminder, and reverse parking sensor, to name a few. And then this is another initiative of passive safety, where we are trying to improve the sturdiness of the vehicle in terms of vehicle stiffness and additional safety technologies. Now, this is where India stands in the Global League for Vehicle Crash Test Assessment Program. Though it started off in US quite early as 1978, but then we can take pride in the sense that now we are also a part of the same league. Now, what is the readiness level and at this stage? First, let me tell you that infrastructure requirement for testing is ready. The manpower is being trained by the experts. Now, the testing agencies are well geared up for this entire exercise, and the standard AIS 197 is ready as of now. Though all of you know very well that standard is an evolving process and it grows with time as the realities change. But we are still working in the area of IT infrastructure, which will come up very soon. Where the entire data at the worksheet for output worksheet will be displayed, and the standing operating procedure for stickers, etc., is yet to be worked out. Now, MORTH, as you are well aware, has been involved in finalizing the testing protocols in consultation with the various stakeholders. Now, the organization structure, the financing funding structure, all that has been funded. CIRT will be an anchoring institution responsible for defining the operating procedures, which has again been evolved through consultation. And whatever are the test results will be, after a due process of approval, shall be displayed on the website. Now, the OEMs will be coordinating with CIRT to initiate the whole process and take action based on its standard rating of car. Now, to put the entire thing in the form of a process flow, after the OEM has nominated a vehicle model for getting it tested, it will be sent for vehicle selection, and through the NCAP representatives, and there the process of selection would be through random sampling. Now, thereafter it will be dispatched to the concerned testing agency, where the vehicle will be tested strictly in accordance with AIS 197, and then after assessing the result, result shall be validated by the team of experts, and then after the results are validated and approved by the standing committee, it shall be displayed on the website. And finally, the results will be published, and a certificate to the effect will be handed over to the applicant. Now, what are the areas of evaluation, and what is essentially being tested? Now, there are three areas. One is adult occupant protection, other one is child occupant protection, and third is fitment of safety assist technology. Now, to assess this, the adult occupant protection will be tested through the dummies, which will be placed within the vehicles in a format defined under the standard, and there 4 areas in the body, that is the head, the chest, the abdomen and the thigh, there the level of injury, force, deformation, etc. will be calculated, and after the results are formulated, then based on the injury criteria, some stars shall be awarded. Now, what are the tests? A similar process will be followed for a child occupant, and there will be a test for the assessment of safety assist technology. Now, all these three, the test will be essentially 2 for frontal impact through ODB, offset deformable barrier, the side impact test, and in 3 or 4 or 5 stars, it will be through additional test would be that of a pole side impact. Now, the qualifiers for this, in terms of fitment of safety technologies would be the fitment of ESC, pedestrian protection, seat belt reminders, and then in 3, 4, 5 star pole side impact test. Now, this is I have tried to capture 2 things here. One, which I have already stated, we started off from an era where the regulations were being mandated. Now we are creating a situation where we are requesting the OEM to voluntarily come forward to get their vehicles tested. And then what is our aim in the future? Our aim is to narrow and bridge down the gap between Indian standard and global standard and have complete global alignment. Now, an indicative list, this is not something which government immediately wants to do that. I was just contemplating that in future we will have active safety systems like 360-degree vision, automatic emergency, braking system, lane departure warning, and in the passive area, full frontal crash oblique pole side impact, rear impact protection, and again for specific tests for EV and alternate fuel risk mitigation. So thank you all. Namaskar and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Shri Sharma. Ladies and gentlemen, today here in our midst is the President of the Society of Indian Automobiles Manufacturer, Shri Vinod Agarwal. We shall hear from him a presentation on auto industry perspective. So please put your hands together and give a warm welcome.
Respected Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. Respected Union Minister of State for Road Transport and Highways, General V.K. Singh ji. Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Shri Anurag Jain ji. Additional Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Shri Mahmood Ahmed ji. Superintending Engineer, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Shri K.C. Sharma. Chief Engineer, and President towards Zero Foundation, Mr. David Bharat, my colleagues from the industry, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. In 2014, when Shri Gadkari ji took over the reins as Junior Minister for Road Transport and Highways, his vision was to make the vehicles that are manufactured in India the safest and most environment friendly. To my mind, as Indian auto industry, we are proud that we have come a long way as far as enhancing both passive and active safety features of our vehicles are concerned. In India, we have already adopted stringent crash safety norms for passenger vehicles, ranging from full frontal, offset frontal, lateral collision, and pedestrian protection test norms. In addition, to provide increased safety to the drivers and co-drivers, 2 airbags, anti-lock braking systems, anchorages for child seats have been introduced of Action Plan 2030, wherein we need to reduce 50% of the fatalities from the base year 2020. Indian automobile industry will closely work with Government of India in a holistic manner to jointly achieve this target. In this regard, there is a need to continuously focus on the 4 E's